Hello everybody, we are in session today. We're going to see some exercises about ratios. This is what we're going to work today. I'm going to show you how to solve some problems using ratios. This is our objective of today's session. Let's see if everything works. I hope that my beautiful pad works today, not like the last one. And we're going to start now talking about ratios, how to calculate ratios. So I'm going to connect. Meanwhile, we'll see some time for people to enter. Let's write here in the message hello to test that works. Okay, chat is working. Everything is working, and let's start our recording of ratios. Okay, we're going to start now. So let's go with our problem. And actually these are basic problems that you can find when you're cooking or when you're doing stuffs. And the question says that a recipe requires a ratio of flour to sugar of 9:2, and I want to know if I have 360 grams of flour, how much sugar do you need? So when you want to answer these questions, you just need to organize, or I recommend you to organize the information in a table. So I recommend you to put the information on a table like identify the magnitudes, and then when you identify the magnitudes, work out on the table. Let's see if it works or not. So look at that, we have ratio of flour and ratio of sugar. So we're going to put the amount of flour and the amount of sugar. These are going to be our magnitudes, and the amount of flour is going to be in grams, the amount of sugar, so we can tell that it's also in grams. So in this case it says that the ratio is 9:2. So what we're talking about is just having flour of 9 grams will be corresponding to a flour of 2 grams of sugar. And I want to know what happens if 360 grams of flour, how many sugar do we have? So I'm going to put like A. And this is how we can start working to create our answer, to create our solution to the problem. Here it appears the option that you restate the problem. Restate the problem is just when you put a description of the problem. What is the problem about? So in this case the problem is about cooking, it's about ratios between sugar and flour, and I want to know how much sugar do I need to find out 360 grams of sugar. But now I'm going to solve the problem, and to solve the situation I just need to I can apply direct variation, and to apply direct variation I just need to operate the following terms. That is, the variable A that is here is just the multiplication of 360 times 2 and then divided by 9. Okay, so I'm just gonna write this here. So I'm gonna put that A is just 360 grams times 2 divided by 9. Now I can multiply 360 times 2 and divided by 9, but remember that when we're working with numbers and we don't want to use calculator, or we don't have the time to use calculator, or we don't have a calculator, the best way is to divide by common factors first. So 360 and 9, they have common factors. They are 9. So I can divide by 9 this 9 to get 1. And I can divide by 9 360, and I got 40. So in this case I'm gonna get 40, and here is 1. So A is just going to be 40 times 2 divided 1. In this case, oh, I forgot to put the grams, 360 grams. So I'm gonna get 40 grams times 2. I can put grams here as well, and they simplify. So 40 grams times 2 is just 80 grams. So my answer is going to be 80 grams. So I'm gonna need 80 grams of sugar to cook my 360 grams of flour in my recipe. This is how this works. This is one question about ratios. Let's work on another question about ratios. What happens if you have this one? A map uses a scale in which 8 centimeters corresponds to 70 kilometers. And I want to find the distance between two cities that are 36 centimeters apart in the map. And the distance from the city square to the suburbs is 200 kilometers. Calculate the distance that must be measured in the map. So essentially we're going to do exactly the same. We're going to use my table. And in my table, I'm going to put that I have the scale that is in centimeters. And I'm going to have the current distance or the actual distance that is in kilometers. And the 8 centimeters of my map corresponds to the 70 kilometers in distance. And here, the distance, they find the distance between two cities that are 36 centimeters apart. So the distance are 36 centimeters. I want to know what is the distance. And I can continue with my table by putting the distance from the city square to the suburb. That is 200 kilometers. And I want to get the distance measured in the map. So I'm going to put B. Now I can again restate the problem by rewriting the problem by telling that I have a scale 8 centimeters to 70 kilometers, and I want to know what happened with 36 centimeters of distance and 200 kilometers of distance. So I'm going to solve it by using again direct variation. And if I want to get A by using direct variation, I just need to take the opposite, sorry. So I want to get the opposite to my variable A. I'm going to multiply 36 times 70 and divide by 8. This is how I get my variable A, So I'm going to go with my marker. I'm going to the part of the base the plan. And I know that my variable A is just going to be 36 times 70 divided 8. 36 times 70 divided 8. And you know, I'm going to take time to find out B as well using the same values that I have. And in this case B, I'm going to use another color, maybe this purple. And B is going to be, so the opposite is 200, so I have to multiply 200 times 8 and divide by 70. So 200 times 8 divide by 70. Let's write it here. 200 times 8 divide by 70. I just need to be sure that I'm doing a good work here. 200. Okay. Yep. Everything seems correct. Now I just need to simplify these values. And to simplify, I'm going to divide by common factors. So, for example, I can divide 8 by 4 and 36 by 4. Now look at that, I'm not putting the units, but it's important that you keep in mind always the units, because for example these 8 are centimeters, these 70 are kilometers, and these 36 are kilometers, kilometers no, are centimeters. So if I have the units, these units are going to be simplified, centimeters with centimeters. and I got the answer in kilometers. And in this case, I have 200 kilometers, 70 kilometers, 8 centimeters. So I'm gonna get cross out the kilometers to get the answer in centimeters. Now I just divide by 4 to get 2, and 36 divided by 4, it's going to be 9. I cannot divide more, but I can divide this 70 by 2. So remember that I can just divide any number of the numerator by any number of the denominator, divided by 2, divided by 2. I'm gonna get 35 and 2, 1. So in this case, I'm gonna get 9 times 35. 9 times 5, 45. 9 times 3, it's going to be 27, and 4, 31. So 315 kilometers. That would be the first answer. And now to calculate the second one, I just need to simplify by common factors. Let me know if you know what are the common factors here. For example, I can divide by 10, so rid of one of the zeros, and 7 is not divisible by any of these two, so I just need to multiply these two. So it's going to be 20 times 8 over 7 in centimeters. So 160 over 7 centimeters. Or I'm going to convert this into a mixed number. So you can divide into a mixed number. This is going to be 2. If I divide 160 divided 7, it's going to be a 2. I don't know if you remember that I did a video explaining how I divide these fractions. I just do the same long division, but here in this case, look, I'm going to use another color. So it's going to be 2. 2 times 7 is 14. To 16 I need another 2. So I got 20. 20 is going to be another 2. 2 times 7, 14. And I want to get to 20, so I'm going to get 6 left. So this is essentially 22 wholes and 6/7 of centimeter. Okay, everybody, and this is how you can find out the solution when you use when you have problems in which you can use ratios and in which you can use direct variation. There is another way to find it, that is by using the unit rate. So you can use the unit rate to find these problems, and this is exactly what I'm going to do here, because it appears that I have dollars to euros, because it says that Joan exchanges $850 and he got 810 euros, and I want to know how many dollars is 1 euro or how many euros is $1. So what I'm doing here is to finding the unit rate. Okay, so if I'm going to do the unit rate, I'm gonna get the answer, and then I want to know how many are 900 euros, and I want to know how many is $170. So I'm not going to put the unit rate here in the table. You can put it, of course, but I'm going to put just what happens if I have 900 euros and what happens if I have $1,700. That will be question C, that will be question D. Now I'm gonna get the unit rate. How to get the unit rate? If you want to get the unit rate of euros to dollars, you need to divide the amount of euros to the amount of dollars. If you want to get the unit rate of dollars to euros, you need to get the amount of dollars over the amount of euros. In the first question, in question A, you need to find dollars to euros. So it means that I have to do the unit rate. So I'm going to put unit, okay, I'm going to put A. I'm going to put A. That is the unit rate. So the unit rate is dollars to euros. So $850 to 810 euros. Okay, now I'm just going to simplify, dividing by 10. Observe that I can divide by 10 both. I can simplify this 0 and this 0. So I'm dividing by 10. So I'm gonna get 85 over 81. And 85 and 81, they are not divisible, so I just got it. So this is, sorry, I didn't put dollars, euros. So I can convert it as a mixed number, 1, and I got 4 over 81. So that's dollars per euro. And B is just the opposite, because it's euros to dollars. So I just need to take 81 euros over $85. So it's going to be 81 euros over 85 over dollars. That will be the unit rate. Now I want to get, now that I have the unit rate, I can just use this unit rate to calculate how many dollars we have. So in this case, I have 900 euros. So if I have 900 euros, I can just multiply by the unit rate that takes me dollars to euros, or sorry, euros to dollars. That it will be the first one. Look at that, dollars and euros are here. So the first one is going to convert from euros to dollar. So I'm going to put just that my answer C is just 900 euros times 85 over 81. Remember that this is $85, this is 85 euros. So look at, cancel the euros, and I got my answer in dollars. So I just need to simplify now. So I'm going to simplify, divide by common factors. Remember that this is like 900 over 1. Divide by common factors, I can divide by 9. 81 by 9 is 9. 900 divided by 9 is 100. I cannot divide more. I think I cannot divide more. 109, no, 85 and 9. I cannot divide more, so as I cannot divide more, let me see if I made a mistake writing the numbers on. No, it's correct. Okay, so I got 995 over 4, so I just need to multiply 85 times 100, 8500 over 9. That's euros. Now, I want to know this as a mixed number. As a mixed number. So if I want it as a mixed number, remember the strategy I used to divide. I'm going to divide by 9. So 85 divided by 9 is 9. 9 times 9, 81. 4 left. So 40 divided by 9 is going to be 4. And I got 4 left. 40 divided by 9 is 4. And I got 4 left. So this is just 944 euros and 4 9ths. And finally, in question D, I'm going to use the other unit rate. The other unit rate is going to be 81 over 85. Okay, 81 euros over $85. And I need to know $117. So I just need to put $17 times my factor 81 euros over $85. The good thing of using the units is that you will know which one goes as numerator and denominator, because you need to cancel the units. That's the good thing of using your data. Okay, now I'm going to simplify by common factors, and look at that. I can simplify this. Let's say that I have no idea what is the number I simplify. I can know it, but I have no idea, so I'm going to simplify 85 by 5 because it's divisible by 5, and 1700 by 5. 85 divided by 5 is 1 and 3 left, so 35, 75, 17. And I'm going to divide by 5 1700, so this is going to be 3, 2 left, 20, so divided by 5 is 4, so 340. Now look at that, 340 and 17, both are divisible by the same number, that is 17. 17 divided by 17 is 1. 340 divided by 17, 34 divided by 17 is 2, so it's 20. So I just need to take 20 times 81 over 1. Well, don't forget to put over 1 here. So 20 times 81 euros. And this is going to be 2 times 1, 2. 2 times 8, 16. 1,620 euros. Okay, and here is how you can convert these two. And we're gonna finish this video by doing an exercise in which Fred needs to decide between these two options. We have bottles of 450 milliliters for $12.60 and bottles of 650 milliliters for $13. I want to know which one is the best buy. The best buy means which one is cheaper, which one costs less in terms of millimeters. So your goal here is to calculate the unit rate. So we're going to calculate the unit rate. We're going to get how much it costs the use of 1 milliliter of each one. Now there are many options to do it. I'm going to show you one of them, but it's not the only one. You decide which one is the best for you. I'm going to show you using inequalities or using the unit rate. Now this is the idea. Okay, let me see if it works. Okay, sorry. Okay, I'm here. Good. You know, people, I think I need to find a new computer. Oh God. Okay, now. Sorry for the mistake here. Come on. Okay, give me a minute. Sometimes it doesn't work. Hello, come on. Come on. Okay, everybody, it doesn't work. So I think I have to stop because I'm not gonna fight with this anymore. So let me see if now it works. Okay, it seems that now wants to work. Okay, everybody, so now I'm going to get, I want to know the best buy, so I want to know if $12.60 over, that is the unit price, over 450 milliliters I want to know if it's greater or less than $613 over 650 milliliters. This is what I want to know. Now, to know that, I have two options. The first option is that I'm going to simplify these two ratios the most I can. And after I simplify them, I'm going to compare the fractions. Or the other is to check the inequality. I'm going to show you both options. So first I'm going to simplify this fraction. So as I'm going to simplify this, I'm going to avoid the zeros to the left of the decimal, so I don't have to put a lot of decimals. Look at that, this is 12.6 over 450 milliliters. So I'm going to simplify this fraction. 12.6 I have to multiply by 10 because I need to rid of the decimal to get $126 over 4,500 milliliters. And now I'm going to simplify. I can simplify this fraction. I'm going to move it a little bit down so I can have a space to simplify my fraction. $126 over 4,500 milliliters. So I'm going to simplify by dividing by common terms. For example, I can divide by 2. So if I divide by 2, I'm gonna get 63. And here, if I divide by 2, I'm gonna get 2,250. Now I can continue dividing. Look at that, these numbers are this number is divisible by 9. 6 plus 3, 9. 5 and 2, 7 plus 2, 9. So both are divisible by 9. 63 divided by 9 is 7. And this number divided by 9 is going to be 22 divided by 9 is 2. 4 left. 45 divided by 9 is 5. 250. I cannot simplify more. So this expression that is here on this side is just the same as $7 over 250 milliliters. This is the most I can do. Now I'm going to simplify the other one. I'm gonna do it here. $13 over 650 milliliters. Look at that, I can divide by 13. If I divide by 13, I'm gonna get 1. And 65 divided by 13 is just 5 and 0. So I got that I want to know if $7 over 250 is the same as $1 per 50 milliliters. Now, if I want to know if these are the same, you need to put both fractions. Both fractions must be to the same denominator. So I'm just going to amplify the fraction 50 by multiplying by 5 to get 250. And I'm gonna get $7 over 250 milliliters greater than $5 over 250 milliliters. So essentially this statement is correct. $12.6 is the more expensive, so this is the best buy. Okay, this is the option 1. The option 1 is when you simplify the rate, and after you simplify the rate, you compare both fractions. This is the option number 1. Now, what happened with option number 2? So I'm going to erase all this stuff. I'm going to erase all of this to apply option 2. Option 2 is when you know about inequalities. When you know how to use inequalities, you can do option 2. Now, I don't like I prefer option 1 or option 2 or a combination of both. But because here it's going to take, maybe it's going to take you longer. Now, what happens if I have this inequality? I want to test if this is correct. So I'm going to multiply this number here by using cross multiplication. 450 here using cross multiplication, like multiplying on both sides 650 and 450. And this inequality is going to be the same as 12.6 times 650 milliliters greater than $13 times 450 milliliters. So if you have this, now you can work out to find out the answer. Now, what is good of this option? What is good of this option is that if you want to simplify, you can simplify by dividing both sides by the same number, as long as it's not negative. So for example, I'm going to divide this, all the inequality, I'm going to divide it by 13 because I know that 13, and I can include a 0, 130. So I'm going to divide by 130. Look. So if I do that, if I divide both parts of the inequality by 130, I'm gonna get here 650 over 130. I'm gonna get 5. And here 13 divided 13, 1. This is going to be 10, and 10 divided 450, 45. So I got that my inequality becomes 12.6 dollars times 5 milliliters greater than 45 milliliters dollar. Okay, so I'm going to multiply 5 times 12.6. 6 times 5, 30. 6 times 2, 5 times 2, 10, and 3, 13. 5 times 1, 5, and 1, 6. $63 milliliter. Remember that if you multiply by a decimal, this decimal only means 12.6 over 10. So I multiply 5 times 126 and divide by 10. Okay? Greater than 45 milliliter. Look at, I got the same. 63 milliliters is greater than 45 milliliters. Good. The best buy is the second option. And this is how you can practice exercises of ratios. This is how you can work on ratios. I hope that this video helps you to work out with some problems related to ratios and comparing ratios. And see you in the next video. Bye bye. Have a nice